Do the Wrong Thing is the 10th episode of the 35th season of The Simpsons. This is directed by Rob Oliver, and as always, there will be spoilers from now as I go through the episode and share some thoughts. And I rather enjoyed this one. It starts off with Abe Simpson retiring as a champion angler, and he's happy to pass this on to Homer. And we'll come back to that in a little bit. Lisa has a part of the narrative as well, and she's initially asking Skinner to write a letter of recommendation for this really exclusive summer camp. And part of the episode is about waiting for her to find out whether or not she got in. And again, we'll come back to that in a bit. I like the fact that both parts of the narrative combine in a really great way, and we'll talk about that when we get there. Homer is then fishing, and he's not doing very well. People are laughing at him. It's a really uncomfortable atmosphere. But then he catches a fish, and they wait, and it's the heaviest fish, and he is delighted, and Abe is delighted. Abe hugs him. We have this really sweet moment, and they take the fish home, and Homer cuts open the fish to cook it, and all of these marbles spill out. And I'll be honest, I felt very sick. I felt very sick at the thought, and my brain didn't go to what the actual reality was. The reality is that Bart was so bored of just watching Homer doing nothing, not catching anything, not doing very well, that he ended up giving the marbles to the fish, basically. So that's how they got in there. That wasn't my first thought. And Homer realizes that Bart gave him this great opportunity to win the heaviest fish award, and he hugged him the way Abe hugged him, and it was just such a sweet moment. And then we have a montage of different sporting activities with Homer and Bart winning the ball. And in the montage, we get to see them cheating at various different things. I don't condone cheating, but within the context of the episode, it was very funny, very well done, great song as well. I don't know what the song is, but the song over that montage I really rather enjoyed. And again, I don't condone their actions, but it was pretty entertaining, very creative, and lovely, I guess, to see Homer and Bart bonding. Honesty is not the name of the game for Lisa either, but it's not her fault. There's a knock at the door, and she finds out that she has got into this exclusive camp because she can row well. And she's really baffled by this. And again, my mind didn't go to what the reality was. We find out immediately after that somebody had doctored the photos on her application. In fact, they'd replaced the photos on her application with photos of people rowing, but with her face superimposed on top. And immediately she blames Homer and Bart. And she blames them while they're at a sporting event, and that exposes their tricks and their cheating to other people. They claim that they're honest, and to be honest, I thought they were honest as well, because I thought it was a bit too convenient that Lisa would immediately blame them and find out the truth that quickly. But I didn't. And kind of in hindsight, it does seem kind of obvious, but I didn't work out who had done this, and it turns out it was Marge. And Bart and Homer are so shocked by this. I love their response, because they think they've corrupted Marge, because she's not one to lie and cheat, but they've been lying and cheating, and she decided to do the same for Lisa because she wanted Lisa to get into this camp. And okay, and I have just realised something, and I had to Google it just in case I was barking up the wrong tree. And okay, this doesn't sit well with me, because those photos, and Wikipedia confirms my suspicion, not that Wikipedia is the most reliable source, but it didn't occur to me until right now that the reason they chose rowing is because of Lori Loughlin's daughter. They were using rowing machines to try and suggest that they were good rowers to try and get them into the university. This is why, well, the bribery is why Lori Loughlin ended up going to prison. I love Lori Loughlin. I don't like that at all. I'm not saying she should have done it. I don't think bribery should be a prisonable offence for anybody. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. But I didn't pick up on that until just now, and now I feel really uneasy. If I didn't care for Lori Loughlin, maybe I wouldn't feel uneasy, but I do love Lori Loughlin, so I don't love that. I don't love that at all, but at the end of the day, the message is very clear. You shouldn't cheat or lie, and I think that's the most important thing. But yeah, I love Lori Loughlin, and I was very annoyed that the case was handled the way it was handled, so for me, I'm not a huge fan of that moment, let's be honest. Nevertheless, this is what happens in the episode. Oh boy, I can't believe I didn't pick up on that until just now. Anyway, moving on. They end up going to this camp anyway, in a way that did kind of feel forced, I'll be honest. The journey to the camp just was a little bit forced. But they got there, and Lisa realised that all, or at least most of the applicants that they accept, do lie on their applications and cheat their way into it. And they're happy to accept Lisa, and they even have classes on cheating, and they ask Homer if he wants to take one of the classes, and quite rightly, he says no. And Lisa refuses to go to that camp as well. And I think that that's a really great moment for Lisa, because on the one hand, having that camp on her college applications, even though she's a bit young to be thinking about that, would look wonderful, and they wouldn't know about the corruption, but at the same time, she would. And I think she made a very big decision, and so did Homer. And the final scene is Bart. Bart teaching the class on cheating, which I thought was a fun way to end things. So for the most part, I think it's a great episode. I think they do a great job of making it fun and entertaining, while very clearly showing that lying and cheating is never okay. The rowing thing, I don't love, because I love Lori Loughlin. So I definitely feel uncomfortable about that. But I guess if you didn't know about that, or if you didn't know that the rowing machines was a part of that and part of the scandal, then I don't think you'd pick up on it. They're not blatantly saying, here, this is a reference to Lori Loughlin. So I don't know. I don't love that part of it, but it doesn't affect my overall enjoyment of the episode. I still ultimately thought that Do the Wrong Thing was a really good episode, and this is actually 2 episodes of season 35, back to back, that I have really enjoyed. Honestly, the first few episodes, not great. A couple of good moments, but generally not great. But these last 2, really entertaining. Really hope they keep this up. And for now, I'm pleased to say that, the rowing aspect aside, I really enjoyed Do the Wrong Thing.